Can you walk us through the key principles of the P.I.L.L method and how do they work together to accelerate debt elimination?
Okay, first of all, the P stands for prepayment of principal. Everyone knows that you can prepay principal. Okay, but what they don't know, not even your accountant, how much interest am I saving when I prepay? Because the bank does not send you a receipt saying, thank you very much for your extra payment. Here's how much interest you saved. But if I bought something on sale at the department store or at my grocery store, they print it right at the bottom of the receipt. Here's how much you saved. Why don't we know how much interest we're saving? Because if I knew that $300 prepaid on my loan would save me $2,300 in interest, now I might get some ideas, you see. Most people are totally unaware that you can take a small amount of money out of your savings account that's making 0.1%, place it on your mortgage, and get a 700% return on your money when you figure out how much interest you actually save. It's amazing.
It's all math, and that's why you're so good at it, because was perceived as probably your weakness growing up is now your superpower. So
exactly.
I think your Asperger's is meant for you. Now, looking specifically at interest cost calculation, how does it play a role in the P.I.L.L method, and why is it a critical component?
Okay, so when you're looking at making a decision on what to pay off and when and how much money, there are so many variables. If I have just 5 variables, then that's 120 different ways to look at something, and only one of them is optimum. Okay, that's 120 different permutations. We have identified at least 10 different variables that you need to consider. When you do that, now you have 3.6 million different permutations. And if you're trying to figure out what is the one best thing to do, you better have a computer on your side looking at all of that and saying, this is the one best thing to do. It's not just enough to save interest. You want to maximize the savings of interest per dollar, and you need our AI system to help you to do that.
What advice would you give to someone just starting to tackle their debt who might feel overwhelmed by the process?
Okay. First of all, stop listening to the experts out there, because all of the information out there that the experts are giving is wrong. You want to focus on how much you can control your interest costs. Interest rate has always been a liar. A 3% mortgage for 30 years really means you're going to pay back 51% of what you borrowed. 4%, you're going to pay back 71% of what you borrowed. 5%, you're going to pay back 93% of what you borrowed. 6%, you're going to pay back 115.838% of what you borrowed. So interest rate has always been a liar. We need to focus on interest cost and how we can reduce interest cost by using the same math the banks use to charge us that interest. We can use the same math not to pay it. So when you pay when you want to pay, when you prepay, you actually make it impossible for the bank to charge you interest. So come up with your own schedule and you can give them back their money for pennies on the dollar.
Wow. So before I'm like, my head is spinning now with all kinds of ideas to apply to my own life. So I love these expert on the microphone segments because we cover exactly this and I get to learn. So before we briefly touched on how artificial intelligence is at the core of the P.I.L.L method with its innovative use of these AI-driven tools, but tell us more about how the P.I.L.L method integrates with modern technologies such as this and what tools you provide to help users stay on track.
Okay. Well, there's 2 things. All right. It's not just enough to do better, because we have been taught how to misunderstand how loans work our entire lives. So the first thing we're dealing with is the idea of, I've got this new information. It seems credible, but now I don't know. It goes against everything that I've been taught. So we don't only provide the technology, but the coaching and the support that goes along with it. It's a dual system. One does not work without the other. So when you put technology and coaching together, now you have support so people can learn new habits. They need to learn new habits, because if we don't, Our old habits have enough inertia to override your new information without support.
Wow. Could you share your success story or two where the pill method made a significant impact on someone's financial situation?
Oh my goodness. We had a couple here in Southern Alabama who both have master's degrees and they're both teachers. And in an attempt to pay back their debt, they were also attempting to put $250 every month away in their savings account. And every single month, they would grab that money out of the bank and pay the bills with it. So they weren't able to save. So when I met them, their videos on our YouTube channel, when I met them, they had $13.06 in the bank. They decided to work with us. And in 11 months, with their current budget, they paid off $24,000 worth of debt. Now, where did that money come from? It was always there. They just needed to track their spending and then take the excess money and then optimally apply it to the debt. Not every month, but at strategic times during the year. And when you do that, you can optimize interest savings. When you optimize interest savings, the debt just melts away.
Wow.
So that's just one story. A second story is a couple straight out of college had a mortgage. We helped them to pay off their mortgage in 6.5 years. And this is a teacher and a real estate agent, okay? Paid off their mortgage in 6.5 years. And the year after that, all of their student loans were paid off as well, because our focus is not how to pay off debt fast. Our focus is how to pay off debt cheap. Save the interest, pay off the debt.
Well, I could sit and listen to you all day, and so could Dan, and I'm sure our listeners want to hear more of you, but we are officially out of time. We are so thrilled that you came on. You taught us, you inspired us, and you educated us. Couldn't ask for a better guest. Thank you so much, my friend.
You are so welcome. And I'm looking forward to watching more of your shows.
Thank you so much. That was Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Keep the Past. And that was the incredible Don Daniel, financial educator extraordinaire and the creator of the P.I.L.L method. You definitely have to check their website. Head to ice10k.com, or you could learn more and definitely check him out on the Instagram at _P.I.L.L method _INT, or you could head directly to their website at thepillmethod.com. And of course, to see more of Dan, you can check out discoveryourpotentialshow.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.